Greetings, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's the end of the week and the last day for some, and it might be the first day for others. And some people, some of our weekend warriors that are not doing things that they want to do are working. So, anyway, I wanted to just share with you, just talk to you a little bit about this call that I had on today's Friday. So, it was Wednesday, I believe, with Dr. Bill Sears. He's a renowned pediatrician. I know about Dr. Bill. I know about his children's books. I know about the books that he wrote for parents when I was a young mom. And he was talking about giving our kids a brain boost. We know that when the children arrive here in this realm, they're perfect. They are perfectly and wonderfully made. And we want to make sure that we continue to give our babies nutrients that are going to allow them to thrive. I was an educator for 21 years in the public school system. And certainly in definitely these last 5-6 years, I would say the last 10, but these last 5 years, and certainly post-COVID, I've seen some very alarming things when I look at little kindergartners, when I see those babies that are even in pre-K, our children are suffering. So those of us that are a part of the wellness movement, we have to start early and make sure that we are giving our babies the best nutrients. It's school time. We cannot rely on the public school system to provide nutrition for our babies. I do remember under under President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, she had an initiative. She was putting fresh vegetables and fruits inside of our schools. That was wonderful because my school was one of those programs. But unfortunately, a lot of the students didn't have a connection to fresh vegetables and fruits, whole grains. They didn't have that connection, even though at that same school, when I was at Cascade Elementary School in Atlanta, Georgia, we also had a garden program that was building those relationships and showing the connection, how the earth, the plants, the animals, all of us, we literally are in this together. And in order for them to thrive and to become productive citizens so they can have a long, healthy life, they need to have a good start to their day. Just stop buying those sugary cereals. Just don't buy it. Oh, my kid can't do this. We have babies that dairy may be a problem. Gluten is a problem. We have children with so many allergies and asthma and all of these different health things that health concerns that we didn't have. So it's time for us to be a little bit more intentional with what we're putting in our bodies. Teach the young ones early. When my daughter was born, she came to this planet vegan. She rejected meat. And now that she's 15 and has just the relationship and just some things as far as food, I can see where the root was. I understood with my breastfed baby, and all she liked was fruits and vegetables. The doctors did say, oh, she's a little underweight. That's not a problem now. Because she was already perfect. The foods that were introduced to her at a young age you have a connection to that in your brain. So because you're used to certain things, we know that chemicals can alter things and change things. So that's why it's such a huge, this is a movement. This is nothing to take lightly. Because if our kids do not have the brain power to be able to learn and absorb all of the beautiful gifts that this world has to offer, where will they be? What kind of world are they going to live in? It's our responsibility. So I just suggest don't buy it. There are some serious pantries that need to be raided. Just make small changes. But all of these things that we have done over time, our children have suffered. Those of us that are a little bit seasoned now in our 40s, 50s, 60s, even some of us in our 30s, some of you guys that are in your 30s, you have noticed a serious breakdown in society. So it seems as though it's settling. So if our gut health is important, if what we're putting into our bodies matters, then we need to really take a serious look so that our children are not continuing to suffer with diabetes, hypertension. You have students, in my classroom, my students would tell you, I'm going to still run. Kids that can't even take a lap around the field outside. They're out of breath. I used to play a game with my kids. I was like, my students always, some teachers have a whistle, some, whatever. My thing was, you better not when it's time to go, you better not let Mrs. Wiggins beat you to the spot, because everybody knows the spot. And the kids are like, man, how? And they're like, I don't believe that you're. Now I'm going to be, I'm 44 right now. They're like, I don't believe that you are. You're not old. But I wonder, and I always tell, and that's what I would say. I'm like, you're not going to let this old lady beat you. You're not going to let this old lady outwork you. But I was surprised at the things that I saw. Please, please, please. Take some time. Take some effort. Have conversations. But let's get serious about what we are doing with our health and with